What's up, everybody? Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you on a Thursday morning, actually. Uh, Heavy pour down in here in Coleman, Alabama, right now, as I hear it and see it out the window. But we want to do a series of videos. And by the way, I know I've stepped away a little bit. I've come back. Just been so busy with work and everything kind of gets in the way, and by the time I find time where I could be recording videos, I get so wore out, I get tired, and I don't do it. So here I am, pretty much on an off day for me, early morning, and we're gonna try to work this out this month. There's certain videos I want to get out. I want to try to get back to getting the watch hours and everything. I don't want to give up on that stuff. And I figured we'd do a series of videos this month. And why not start with the SEC? Why not release the BSN Power Rankings for 2024 college football? So, that being said, should we even start at the top? I guess we could start at the top because I think it's obvious how it's going to play out. And this is unbiased. If it were, and I know I'm wearing an Alabama shirt, but I think if it were biased, Alabama would be at the top, right? Well, I don't have Alabama at the top, right? Kayla DeBoer comes in for Alabama. You got coming in for Texas A&M, Mike Elko. You got Kirby Smart. You got Sarkeesian. You got Quinn Ewers coming back for Texas. You got the big boys like Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC. How are they going to stack up? So we just got to go through these rankings. I'm not going to talk about every single team. Some of them are just obvious as to why they're down where they are or up where they are. But kind of, I guess, talk about some of the teams in the middle. Let's go. Let's just go ahead and go. And let's start at the top. Go ahead and get it out the way. The top six: Ole Miss, Mizzou, Tennessee, Alabama, and Texas, and then Georgia. Now, for this set of the rankings, I think it's right that Georgia be at the top. I think that's the obvious. Texas at number two, to me, makes sense. You look at what they did last year to win the Big 12, get to the college football playoff. They were a play or two away from being in a national title. They bring back guys like Quinn Ewers. I'm trying to think, what's that running back? It's like Sanders. Uh, it's slipping my mind. Um, but I mean, look, Texas is going to bring a lot of guys back, and I know what you're going to say is, well, they might be top five. I don't know if I put them number two. Well, who else you got? Tennessee's in my top six right here. Maybe Tennessee. I don't see Alabama brings a lot back too, but here's how I view this. Here's how my brain works a little bit. Let's pick at that a little. Is I view it as coaching. I view it as experience. You don't think Sarkisian has SEC experience? I mean, he was the offensive coordinator for Alabama for like 2.5, 3 years, and he's been around a little bit. You know, he's played teams like Georgia. He could have to coach against them. He's been with Nick Saban. I could go down that rabbit hole. Sarkisian is a really good head coach, great coaching philosophy of offense. He's going to have Quinn Ewers, uh, at quarterback. He's going to have a lot of key pieces. He brings in Isaiah Bond from Alabama, who helped with the 4th and 31 last year in the Iron Bowl. He transfers over. So, I mean, he's going to have weapons for his offense. And that's kind of what you need today in college football. Georgia has shown they can still do it with defense. But I still believe that we're kind of in this offensive era of college football where you got to throw the ball. You got to hit your receivers down the middle of the field. You got to pick up big yardage, and that's what Texas does. That's what they do. That's what they're going to do. I just there's so many different reasons I could go into about why Texas would be number 2 on my list. And just having the talent that they have, the recruiting that stacks up. You'll hear a couple guys' names called on draft day, but you'll also see a lot of experience. But I mean, they went on the road last year, and you could say whatever you want to about, oh, well, Bama was struggling at the beginning of the year. A win on the road, plus you only had the one loss. What did they lose to? Oklahoma. So they went to Tuscaloosa. They're not used to going to the SEC um, road environments. They're just not. They go to Tuscaloosa, they win by 10 points over Alabama. They bring a lot of that back. Why would they not be ready for the SEC? I really think based on talent, recruiting, and coaching, that Texas and Georgia should be the top 2 teams in the SEC right now, right? I know Texas is new. I know they gotta get used to it, and it's gonna take some time. I'm not gonna deny that. But I think if you wanna base it off what they have, I think they have the tools to be successful. So, I got them at number 2. Alabama at number 3. You can't drop them too far off. I almost put them at number 4. I almost put Tennessee ahead of them. But Alabama with Jalen Milroe and company coming back, and rumors have been that they brought back Caden Proctor. I believe that's been confirmed last time I checked. And, they're going to, I feel like there's going to be areas they're improved in. I do think, and this is not a coaching rank, this is just as a team type of ranking. This isn't for, oh, well, Kalen DeBoer. No, but Alabama. They're still gonna be Alabama. I mean, if you think Kalen DeBoer is gonna come in here and screw things up to the point of 6-6 or 7-5, I think that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, that could be a floor, but I mean, first off, they're not going 12-0. They're probably just gonna miss the playoffs. But at the same time, I would say 8 to 9 wins will get you 3rd or 4th place in the SEC. I think it's gonna be Texas and Georgia for the title. You take away divisions, by the way. Then Alabama's kinda that outside team, right? I mean, what other you see Ole Miss and Missouri on here with great offenses and coaching, Lane Kiffin, Eli Drinkwitz, but who else? Tennessee, high flying, Nico Imaliva. I mean, I could go down that list too for Tennessee. I just some of these teams are loaded offensively. Some of them don't know how to play defense. Well, Alabama's going to know how to play defense. They're going to have some guys on defense too. They are. Gotta watch the spring game on Saturday, see what they look like. Maybe it'll change. I probably should have done this post spring rankings, but I kind of wanted to get some content out and get you guys my spring rankings for the SEC here. And we'll do it for the other conferences this month too. But Ole Miss, always good offense, never really any defense. It's improved the past couple years, especially with Pete Golding, which is kind of surprising to me because I'm not gonna say he's not a good defensive coordinator, but man, did he really mess up Alabama. I think it happened with Pete Golding and Ole Miss that he would be good enough for that kinda job, but at the same time, he's not good enough to hold down the Alabama job. He's just not. Uh, not to the standard of what Alabama and Nick Saban had set. Missouri, I already talked about them a little bit. Let's just go ahead and move on forward. I'll just kind of throw up these rankings. Number 7, I got Kentucky. Number 8, I got LSU. Maybe I'm harsh on LSU. You could probably swap them and Ole Miss. Oh, I think they'll be pretty good, but they got the Heisman winner and Jaden Daniels, who to, is going to go pro. He's NFL ready. I think some people say he could be a bust, but at the same time, you give him a chance, let him go out there, prove himself, and see what he does. Now he's gone. Haven't really looked into what I mean. Actually, I did look into LSU a little bit the other day because I was thinking about doing a team preview for them. We'll probably save that one for later down the road. I don't know why, but I just I I don't know. I was looking into them the other day, and they had for 2023 they had Noah Kane. To my knowledge, he's supposed to go to the draft. Jaden Daniels supposed to go to the draft. They got in the quarterback position. Garrett Nussmeier is still there. I feel like he's been around too long, but I think he's redshirted a little bit. You got Logan Diggs at running back, uh, Armani Goodwin, Caleb Jackson, Trey Hawley. I can go down the list there. There's a couple different battles for LSU there. Got some big guys like Emory Jones on the offensive line. Uh, so and they got some experience. They got a lot of young guys, but they have a lot of guys that are probably going to end up leaving and graduating at the same time as it's good to have that depth, but we'll see how many guys stick around for it. You'll probably hear a couple guys get called, not too many on draft day. Brian Kelly, though, you look at it from a coaching perspective, he would in his first year he won the West. Last year, not so much. Last year, uh, I mean, finished what he finished like 10-3, 9-3 regular season. Lost to Alabama in a blowout. Lost close to Ole Miss and lost to Florida State. Now, Florida State was Florida State up until they played Georgia in that Orange Bowl, right? So we'll take that out. The Ole Miss loss was close, but on the road. And it was, do that math, 4 points? Okay. You lost in a blowout in Tuscaloosa to Alabama. You lost on the road. So you're losing on the road, but you also got some good wins like Missouri and Auburn and Florida and Texas A&M. That's good. You won your Wisconsin bowl game in the ReliaQuest Bowl, and Nussmeier had to come in because Daniels, I can't remember if he was hurt or like opted out, but Nussmeier had 395 yards in that game, which was really, really good. So I would expect LSU to just be LSU this next year. I think they'd be a little bit better, but I don't think they're reaching the SEC title or anything like that. So Oklahoma, Auburn. Auburn, I expect to have a pretty good year. Peyton Thorne comes back. This could be interesting. I think their goal should be, can we win in Tuscaloosa? Honestly, think about it. You got a new head coach in DeBoer at Alabama, replacing Nick Saban. Why not take advantage if you're a couple teams like Auburn that haven't won against Alabama in a little while? Take advantage of your rivals. Try to be the better team in the state this year. We'll see. Oklahoma's in there. Uh, I kind of, I'm kind of on the fence about Oklahoma. I don't think they're at the bottom of this list, but they're definitely not at the top. So I kind of have to put a mid-range SEC. So I put them at number 9. South Carolina's at number 11. Texas A&M's at 12. So Kentucky, number 7. Kentucky's going to be pretty good. Bring a lot of talent back. Should be bringing back Devin Leary from my research, but we'll see. Then you get to the bottom of this list here, and again, I won't go too long for you guys, but Florida's just a dumpster fire right now. Vanderbilt's Vanderbilt. Arkansas going to be a little bit improved. We'll see. Mississippi State. I mean, these 4 teams right here are the bottom feeders of the SEC at the moment. And these are the ones you really don't even have to defend why you put them that low. I mean, they just don't have like the recruiting's out of control a little bit. I mean, Florida's recruiting okay, I guess, but like it's not showing on the field for Billy Napier. Vanderbilt is Vanderbilt, has been and always will be, in my opinion, until I see otherwise. Now, I say that Vanderbilt, I think, went 5-7 last year. So, maybe if they find some room to improve, I don't see it this year with the new schedule and everything, but give it a couple years, can Clark Lee take them to a bowl? We'll find out. We'll definitely find. Arkansas, I love Sam Pittman, but he's had a lot of good talent in Arkansas and just does not know. I mean, cannot figure out what to do with it. I mean, they finished 12th in the SEC. Uh, or wait, no, they finished. They're 12th in the SEC right now. Or I guess what is it saying that they're 12th? Anyway, they went 4-8 last year. They went 1-7 in conference play. They finished dead last in the West. They were one game behind Mississippi State. One game. And they got a tough schedule this next year. I mean, they play Arkansas Pine Bluff. That's probably a win. And UAB could be a win, but we'll see. Go Blazers. Oklahoma State on the road, Auburn on the road, A&M, Tennessee at home, LSU. I mean, that's a tough stretch in and of itself. Auburn, A&M, Tennessee, LSU, Mississippi State at Ole Miss, Texas, Louisiana Tech, and Missouri. I would not be shocked. And I love Sam Pittman in Arkansas, but I would not be shocked if they don't get an SEC win this year. I'm sorry. I just would not be surprised. Same with Vanderbilt. Florida is just, I don't know what's going on there, but 5-7 last year. Recruiting's picked up for Florida, but I don't think it's going to show on the field. I really don't. They open week 1 with Miami. They play Samford. They play A&M and Mississippi State, teams that could be better than them, that could get in their way. Tennessee, you're not beating Tennessee, not in Knoxville. You're not beating Kentucky, you're not beating Georgia, you're not beating Texas. LSU is going to be better than you. Ole Miss will be better than you. And then you got to play Florida State at the end of the year. We haven't done ACC yet, but Florida State's still in that conference at the moment. And we'll we'll see what Florida State looks like. But I've gone too long. These are my SEC rankings. I know I wasn't too detailed, but I think you get the point. Like I just it starts with Georgia, and then it's basically everybody else, even for Alabama, right? Like it's Georgia and everybody else right now in the SEC, all because Nick Saban left, and because of what Kirby Smart's done at Georgia, what he's built up, what he's been able to do, right? I mean, it's that simple. You're gonna have your mid-tiers, South Carolina and Auburns, and then you're gonna have the bottom feeders right here, but then you got the guys back at the top, Georgia and everyone else. But I also said at the beginning that there's a clear-cut shot that Texas is that, you know, that 1A, 1B with Georgia. There's a good chance that's the case. I gotta hear from you guys in the comments. I've gone too long. I love you guys. Let's get back to making some great content, and I'll see you guys real soon. Ballard Sports Media checking out. I love y'all. Peace.